Perfect. All right, everybody. Quick safety reminders, but first, happy Tuesday. I hope you're all getting a little bit of sunshine like I am, because it's perfect. Now, just your reminders to have a nice clear space to exercise in, nothing to step on or trip over. I like to keep my equipment just underneath my chair. Make sure you have water close by. And then if you've got anything like an oximeter, something to measure your heart rate and oxygen levels, it's really a good idea to have that close by. And you can use that as a guide for how intensely you push yourself and how well you are recovering in the rest times. Okay. And then just remember, this is a virtual class. So please put yourself on mute if you have to answer the phone or someone comes in to chat with you, anything along those lines. We can hear everything that is on your end. So please mute when possible. Okay. And then make sure you're talking to me about anything that you're feeling. You know, if something's hurting, I don't want that. So please bring it to my attention and I can adjust things for you to make sure we all have fun and have success today. Okay. So the first thing we'll start with is just get into our breathing pattern.
Hey, Jill, just before we go there, sorry, it's Naomi to interrupt. You may want to just check your camera because your feet are cut off. You have great ankles, but yeah.
Thank you.
Actually,
I
Jill,
appreciate that because
Jill,
I choose to see all of you instead of my camera. Yes, Wayne?
unfortunately, as you were sitting, the weights and bands, etc., that you have underneath your chair made it look like you were sitting on the toilet with your clothes around your ankle.
Yikes. That would be a really big bathroom. I'm impressed.
Well, yeah. Well, remember, you weren't showing your feet.
Not really.
There we go.
Couldn't
Bring
help-
some music to your
couldn't
day.
help
That's
but notice.
important.
Sorry.
All right. So
Good
let's get
morning.
into our breathing
Okay.
pattern, a bit of movement. So let's aim for an inhale for 3 to 4 seconds, your exhale for 4 to 5. And as we do that, we're just going to lift up one arm. So if you want a hand on your belly so you can feel it, that's great. And then we're just lifting an arm as we breathe in, lowering the arm to breathe out. You can switch hands, breathing in, breathing out. Good, we've got 2 more breaths with this pattern, in and out. In and out. Brilliant. Maintain that pattern. This time we're going to put our hands together in front of us. Pull them apart as we breathe in. And out. Good. In, pull those hands apart. And out. Good. Once more, in. And out. Now we're going to combine those 2 patterns. So one arm goes straight up, the other goes out to the side at the same time. In and out. Switching arms, in and out. In, out. One last time. Deep breath. Out through pursed lips. Brilliant. All right, I'm going to ask you to start lifting one heel at a time. So your toes stay on the ground, your heel lifts up. Okay. And it's time to start adding to the challenge with our deeper breathing. Remember, the harder we work, the more difficult it is to maintain breathing patterns. That's when we start off slow and start to amp up the challenge as we go. So one heel lifting at a time, get into your breathing pattern. And then we're just going to reach across to touch the outside of the lifting leg. So the heel lifts up, you reach across and touch, okay? Now remember that 3 to 4 second inhale, 4 to 5 second exhale. If you need a little bit less, a little bit more, please feel free to do so. But what that looks like is as our arm and legs are moving, we're breathing in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4. All right, now we're reaching our hand behind our body. If you can't quite get all the way to your back, please feel free to just reach for your hip. Okay. Good. So reaching that hand behind yourself. And now we're lifting up our toes. So keeping the heel on the ground, toes come up, just like you're alternating, tapping your foot to the music. And once more, that breath is in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4. All right. So did everyone get that tiredness at the front of their shin?
A little.
A little bit.
A little.
Good. So maintaining those two movements, the strength in that calf and the strength in what's called your tibialis, that front shin muscle, is really important for maintaining your walking and your balance. Okay. We're going to start working on that more and more. Now let's just touch a heel out in front of us. So we're actually taking that step. Remember, you can be seated or standing, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Just if you are standing, I highly encourage you to have balance support within arm's reach. Okay, so within grabbing distance. Now we're just touching one heel forward at a time. Please go at your own pace. Okay. And now with your arms, again, we're increasing the challenge. We're going to kind of sweep it out in front of us to the side. So scrub that counter, scrub the counter. Good. And as you get into the pattern with your feet stepping, I would encourage you to get a little bit of a circular movement with the arm. And the reasoning for that is it's really easy for us to get our feet and arms moving in straight lines. It's easier for the brain, but as soon as we get one limb moving in straight lines and the other in a circular movement, it's a lot tougher. Really try to make that circle as your foot steps straight out in front of you and then back. Good. All right, now we're going to change it up this time. Can your arms move in that straight line? But can you circle your ankle? So can you move your ankle in that circle as your arm moves in a straight line? So what you'll find is wanting to happen is your arm wants to do this.
Wants to circle. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. This is tough on the brain, but it's really good for building that brain-body connection. Okay, your awareness of where your body is in space. So that helps with things like balancing and walking and turning, helping prevent yourself from tripping over things, as we build up that awareness of where we are in the space around us. Yeah. Now pause there. This is a funny one. Get your foot moving in a circle. So make some circles with your foot, with your ankle. And now can you lift and lower your arm in a straight line? So that's how you can kind of practice that brain-body connection. Part of the trick is you kind of separate your focus, right? Part of your concentration is on circle, 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 but a separate part of your concentration is on lifting and lowering the arm. Now, what's almost impossible for people to do is to draw the number 6 with your hand as your foot makes a circle. So this is just a funny one that you can try and get other people to do, because your foot wants to follow the movement of your arm, and just switch sides. Switch sides. So you try it on both sides. It's making the circle, and then you make that letter or the number 6. There we go. So that's usually a super challenging one if you want to throw that at a friend or family member. Get really impressed with you. All right, now we're reaching our toes out. So tapping that toe out in front of you. Good. And I would just like you casually swinging your arms. There, I always want to try to sneak in something that's extra fun for you.
That is easy.
What's that, Mary?
And it's easy.
This should be easy. This should be easy. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna make it harder.
You would.
Yeah. So now your foot touches in front, side, and then it alternates. Front, side, 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 front, side. Good. Front, side, front, side, front, side, front, side, front, side, front, side. Good. There we go. All right, now just get either your heels lifting one at a time or get into that march, whatever is quite doable for you while maintaining a bit of movement. And now we're going to get our arms moving in that same front side movement. So it goes front, side, 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 and shake it out. Perfect. All right, we're gonna revisit our steady state cardio today. And remember what that means is picking a movement that you can maintain for a certain amount of time. And we're looking for duration. So trying to keep moving for a length of time. Those of you that have been here the last 2 times we've done that, remember there was a couple things that I wanted you to keep track of, to track improvement. There was your ability to keep moving the full time. Then there was your ability to move multiple body parts. So if you're only moving just your arms or just your legs or switching, then maybe we can progress to doing both at the same time. There's your range of motion. So the higher you lift your knee, the more you swing your arm, the harder it is, and your speed. Okay. So I'm going to give you every 30 seconds, let you know that it's been 30 seconds. So if you do want to alternate, that sounds great. Take a deep breath, and we're starting in 3, 2, and go. So whatever feels best for you. Maybe you're just moving your arms. Maybe you're just lifting and lowering your heels. Maybe you're doing a full march. Pick something that you feel like you can maintain, but you have to push yourself to maintain a little bit. And so you can also think of it as this is a little bit more intense than your casual pace. That's 30 seconds. Good. This is also a great time to tell a joke, make a comment, ask a question, because we are doing this for 3 minutes. Good. So a couple key things is I want you being aware of what your pace is. So if I step my feet, my pace right now is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep track of that breathing pattern. Good. There we go, team, and that's 30 seconds. And by that 30 seconds, it's actually been a full minute and a half. I forgot it. I missed the 1 30-second piece. And so again, remember the goal is to move for as long as you can. And at the point that you need to stop and take a rest, that's okay. But first try decreasing the intensity. So if you find a full march, man, this is too hard to maintain for more than 2 minutes. Try to get to that point, and then maybe that's when you're just moving the arms. Okay. That's another 30 seconds. That means we have just 1 minute left. Well, less than a minute now. Good. Maintain that breathing pattern. That's another 30 seconds. So we're on to the final 30. Now remember, if you feel dizzy or lightheaded, you start feeling like you can't take a full breath, those are all signs to just stop moving completely and go into your recovery position. And I will review the recovery position in 10 seconds. So by the end of these 10 seconds, you should be glad that we're done, but you should not feel exhausted. And rest. So that recovery position, either on your hands or forearms, keep your chest up. Woo! Now maintain your breathing pattern. And we're going to do 2 more sets of that, but we're going to change up the movement each time. So again, you should feel relieved that we're done. You should feel that you got some good work in. You should not feel exhausted. I know some of you are thinking, well, easy for you to say. You guys are doing great. Super, super well done. So
Joe,
we're gonna have a nice.
when was the last time someone told you you took their breath away?
almost every day. And I teach a pulmonary class almost every day. Yeah, so remember, even if you're panting a little bit, breathing out through pursed lips doesn't have to be long and slow if you're not able to do that while panting. So it might sound a little bit more like this. But the goal is that pursed lip exhale, which helps prop open your airways to allow more air out on the exhale. So don't get caught, because that's not pushing that air out of your lungs. Are we starting to feel fully recovered? Not quite yet. So some of you are doing your active recovery, which is light movement to help you recover your breathing. That is wonderful. Some of you are doing more passive recovery, so just the recovery position and catching your breath. So do what is best for you. And I'm going to give us an extra about 10 more seconds before we go again. Now, most of us were doing a, I call it kind of a forwards backwards movement, more of a forwards type movement, right? Some of us were marching or swinging your arms. This next go around, I would like you to do some sort of lateral movement, which just means sideways. So whether we're tapping our feet out to the side, maybe you're stepping 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, whatever that looks like for you. And you can either do an Irish jig or moving the arms across. Okay, and let's go. Starting now. So let's try to get that more side to side movement this go around. Maybe you're just moving one arm at a time, and every 30 seconds to a minute, you're changing. If it's your arms or your legs moving, that's completely great. And this is the kind of movement that gets a little bit boring when you have to sustain movement for a time. That's why I sometimes make you do it with me, because I find that I can be maybe a little bit more entertaining than when you're just by yourself. No guarantees. But again, if you have a question, this is a great time to ask a question. I did miss the first 30 seconds. We're just over it. We're getting close to the minute mark.
I've got a comment on that very first exercise you did, where it was raising the arm straight up and breathing into the count of 4.
Yeah.
I found that very easy, whereas ordinarily I can't breathe into the count of 4.
So that's a minute, guys. So the key there, and do you normally, and Barry, are you talking about it's normally hard to breathe in while lifting your arm?
No, it's normally hard to breathe in, period, to the count of 4, but with lifting the arm that way, it was easier.
That's another 30 seconds. So guys, that's a very excellent observation. So
And keep it. I'll get it.
Alrighty. Okay.
if you chat with the background, put yourself on mute.
Yeah,
That would be wonderful. That's a great observation, Barry. That's another 30 seconds. You're almost done, gang. So the reason I get you to do breathing in with lifting the arm, right? We either get you lifting an arm or moving your arms out to the side, is those movements help your respiratory muscles do their job.
Ah,
And if you give us just another 20 seconds, I will get all of you to demonstrate this for me. And we'll make it a hands-on learning opportunity, because that's super, super important and something helpful for you to do on your own if you're struggling to inhale.
And I know who Lommer is.
We've got about 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Now go to that recovery position. And if you can, and I'm just gonna, sometimes if we forget to mute ourselves, we're away and can't hear the ask. So I'll just do that. So if you can, just put your hands on your rib cage. So we all know, or you can at least feel here, when you breathe in, the goal is for your rib cage to expand. Are we all familiar with that concept?
Yes.
When you breathe in, your rib cage expands, which allows your lungs to expand and fill with air. Now, you have muscles attached to your rib cage, which help pull open your rib cage when you breathe in. You may know about your diaphragm, which is that larger muscle that sits underneath your ribs, kind of like a bowl. And that muscle also helps you inhale, exhale, but you also have what are called intercostals, and that just means they attach to your ribs. So when we lift our arm up or bring our arms out to the side, those intercostal muscles get pulled on a little bit. So it actually, we're putting some tension on them, so it actually helps them pull open the rib cage easier when we breathe in. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So for somebody that struggles with your inhale, it's actually very, very helpful for you to practice. And often the overhead gets more tiring, but just get your arm moving. Okay. Yeah, and the difference, sometimes you'll hear people to tell you to kind of put your hands behind your head. Maybe not you guys as much, but a lot of my young athletes. And the reason I don't like that is because it keeps those muscles stretched out the whole time. So it might be a little bit easier to breathe in, but it's actually harder to breathe out, which is worse for all of you. And that's why I like the movement of breathe in and breathe out and bring the arm down. That's also helping you breathe out. If you keep those muscles stretched out in your exhale is going to be harder to do, and we don't want that.
Makes sense.
So if you find yourself struggling to get your breathing pattern, even in your recovery position, this is why I get you practicing it. Elbows tuck in, breathe in, open up the arms, but then bring your arms back in to breathe out, to take the tension off those muscles, to allow yourself to exhale more air. Any questions on that?
Thank you.
Of course. No, it's always important to me. It's super, super important that we understand why you get asked to do certain things. I'm not for one for being told to do something without the reasoning. It just doesn't stick in my brain. So I like to know why I'm being asked to do something. And so I always want you guys to feel like you have a good understanding of why certain things are recommended or not recommended. Okay. So I love that. Keep asking questions, guys. We have one more set of a 3-minute steady state. Please keep monitoring yourself. Just even the littlest bit of movement and maintaining it is great. And now what I would like you to do is I would like you to do some sort of reverse movement. And so what that can look like is starting with your feet out in front of you and bringing your leg back underneath you as your arm goes back. Okay, so mimicking a more backwards movement. So I have my feet further out in front of me and I'm stepping them right underneath my knee as my arm goes back. Okay, if you are standing, something that I would recommend you maybe do is right with your chair, and I have to move mine forward to show this, is stepping around the chair, forwards, and then backwards. So a little bit of a different movement compared to what you might be used to. Ready, and let's go. So some sort of reverse movement, making sure you have balance support in grabbing distance, as I call it. Good, maintain your breathing pattern. And please, if anybody has any other observations or questions, boy, is it fun when we get to learn while we move. So that's 30 seconds. Based on the assumption that most of you started before I officially started. There we go. Good. Maintain that pursed lip exhale as best you can. Good. Now that's another 30 seconds. So we're 1 minute in out of 3. A third of the way through. You're doing awesome. Good. Well done, everybody. Good. And that's another 30 seconds. So you are halfway. And remember, maintaining some form of movement for this full time is what's key. Doesn't have to be the same movement. You can switch it up. Good. There we go. So another 30 seconds, meaning we only have 1 minute left. You guys are doing wonderful. But you're so quiet, I almost feel like singing for you. But if I were able to sing, I would not be working hard enough. If anyone remembers our discussion on the talk test for intensity. There, that's another 30 seconds. So we're in the final 30. Please, please maintain your breathing pattern. And even the smallest movement is movement that we're maintaining as we go. Good work, team. And this is the last time we're doing this, then we're moving on to some strength work. All right, in 3, 2, and 1. Rest there. Once again, you can go into that breathing pattern using the arm movement to help yourself, to help those breathing muscles do their job. You can go into that recovery position, which helps you open up your airways. And again, we're going to be taking a longer rest to make sure you feel fully recovered. So now is a great time to ask questions, make your observations. Please let me know if anything is hurting.
You're whooping us today, I'll tell you.
I know that steady state cardio is challenging physically and mentally.
Mhm.
It takes a lot of mental effort to maintain it.
We're just not used to going that long, that's all.
Yeah.
That going backwards, I found hard. We're not used to doing that motion going backwards. And I found that hard to stay in sync.
Well, if you think about it, most of our lives are spent going forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we lose a bit of that ability for and that's why I try to get you guys going, doing some sort of side to side movement every class, some sort of reverse movement, whatever that looks like. It's just so important to maintain that multi-directional ability. Because we're always walking forwards. Okay. All right, well, we're looking fairly recovered, which is a good sign.
I was once told that the only time you should be regularly looking back is when you're walking.
When you're regularly looking back,
The only time to be regularly looking back is when you're walking forward.
Why?
You
Like
never
over your
know who's
shoulder?
following you.
Yeah, like over your shoulder type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I do that a lot while I'm driving too.
You pretty well have to do that when you're walking downtown now.
My point exactly.
Okay. That's good. All right, team, whatever you are using as your weight today, if you are choosing to use something as a weight, you can go ahead and pick it up. Brilliant. All right, so you're not gonna like me too much for this one, but I'm okay with that. I'm gonna ask you to get your feet wider apart than your chair, if possible, and you're just gonna have your toes pointed slightly outwards. You can hold the weight wherever is most comfortable. If you want to hold it kind of down by belly button, up by chest. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a sit to stand, keeping our feet wide apart. And so what that looks like is you want to keep your knees out, don't let them kind of collapse in, is it looks like this. Pressing through the feet, tighten those glutes, and standing up tall. Now, once you're standing upright, you might feel a little bit off balance because those feet are wider apart than you're used to. So keep clenched tight in the core and the glutes, and then slowly we're going to come back down. Okay. Now we're going to go for a minute. Remember, if you're seated, stay here and just push your feet into the ground and hold it. If you can see somebody, I guess you all are just seeing me, and I'm not going to repetitively sit and stand today. I've already done quite a bit with my knee today. So just stay seated and push and hold, and I'll count us out. Ready? Let's go. So standing up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Standing up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Try to hold and go down slowly. Up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3, down, 2. Up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, and rest. Now, right from there, everybody, you're going to take, put your weight to the side and grab your band. So grab your stretchy band. If you do not have a stretchy band, continue using your weight, and you'll be in the same position. So we're just going to put that band around our feet, or underneath our feet, I should say. Anchor it. You're going to lean forward slightly. Make sure there's tension on the band. And what I'd like you to do is we often pull straight back. I want you to try pulling with your elbows slightly up and then back down. So again, chest forward. So pop that chest up, pull the elbows back, and then bring your hands back towards your feet. So pull and slowly release. Okay. Pull, slowly release. Pull, slowly release. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Now take the band and you're going to flip it so it's behind your back. Then it's going to come forward underneath your armpits. And that's going to prevent the band from going to the back of your neck. Okay. So the band comes forward underneath your armpits. Feel free to wrap it around your hands so you don't have to grip it as hard. And then we're just going to get our arms slightly flared out in that same position. So think you don't want everything in a straight line. You still want that elbow slightly below your hand, but we're going to reach out and back. Reach out and back. So bit of a punching motion, a one-armed chest press. Push out and back, push out and back. Now, as your one hand pushes out, I want you tightening your core so that your whole body doesn't follow. I want just your hands to move. So just your hand pushes out and back. And you might have to tighten up that core in order to do that. Good. Remember, it is helpful to breathe out as you punch out. Good. Three, 2, and 1. You can remove the band from around you. Put it down or just to the side within reaching, within reach, I should say. And then you need your weight again. So we've done a sequence of 3 exercises, 1 with the weight, 2 with the band. What was the first exercise we did with the weight?
Sit to stand.
Sit to stand. We've just got your knees and feet out wide, ready, and let's go. So you're standing up, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. Go at that pace. Remember, if you're seated, just press your feet into the ground as if you're about to get up. You should feel those leg muscles tighten up. And then we're slowly relaxing just in time to the pace of everybody else. So standing up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, 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 last one, up, 2, 3, down, 2, 3. Brilliant. Feel free to put your weight away, grab your band. We're going to wrap that band underneath your feet. Those elbows are coming out, flaring out slightly, and we're pulling 2, 3, and back, 2, 3, pull, 2, 3, 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 back, 2, 3. Well done, everybody. Got just a couple more pulls to do. Remember to maintain your breathing pattern. You can breathe out as we pull here because that is the point of the most exertion. Good, and last one. Good, and relax there. Grab the band. And remember, if you need a bit of a rest, please feel free to take it. And we're gonna move that band around the back so it's coming forward from underneath the armpits. All right. And one arm is punching forward at a time. Ready, punch. And back. Punch. And back. This is a slow, powerful punch. Good work, everybody. Remember, it is helpful to breathe out as you push a hand forward. Good. Maintain your breathing pattern. You're doing so great today, team. Excellent. And 3, 2, and 1. Rest there. All right, just to recover a little bit before we stretch, and it's a wonderful back exercise. You're once again going to get your feet and knees wide apart, sitting at the edge of your chair. Have your hands wherever is most comfortable, and you're just hinging forward. So I'm keeping the chest up. I'm just moving through my hips, and that's why I like hands here. That's why I like to get your chin up, because it helps you prevent rounding at the lower back. Okay, and you slowly come up. So it's gently rocking forward. You'll probably feel a bit of tightness at the front of those hips, which is great. And then come up. So forward and back up. Forwards. Good. And back up. Really. Forwards and back up. Great job, everybody. Keep up that steady breathing pattern. Good. And last one here. Brilliant. Shake it out. Oof. Now it's time to stretch. Let's start with one elbow up. Grab it however you'd like. And again, stretch time, perfect time to socialize, have extra fun, ask questions. Let me have it.
Are you gonna keep doing units of 3 minutes?
Nope, that's an occasional thing.
That's too bad.
And implement it a little bit more often. I like to give you guys a variety. One, so that you never know what to expect, so that you can't miss a class thinking that you know what we're doing. And 2, arms. And 2, I like to give you as many tools as possible to build up success on your own.
Well, that certainly helps.
Yeah, so if you notice, wow, those 3 minutes, that was really, really tough, but I felt really good about it. That's the perfect thing to practice.
Yeah, because we usually only go for a minute, right? But even 2 is a good stretch, but 3's.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so the reason for that duration, so the total amount of time is one of the last things we work on. Stretch out your leg out in front of you. The first thing we always try to get people to work on is frequency. You know, how many times a week can you get even a little bit of movement in?
Yeah, we all have good days and bad days, that's for sure.
Totally. But then it's intensity. So the 1 minute mark is usually enough time to kind of push yourself to work harder. But you should be working hard enough that you cannot work more than a minute.
Yeah,
The duration is interesting because now we're working at a lower intensity, but for a longer time. And each time we change one of those variables, it works on something slightly different.
yeah, it builds up endurance.
Absolutely. And switch legs.
Well, for me, it does anyways.
No, and you're correct, Rick. That is what it builds up for sure. Does anyone else have any questions? If you feel like you're asking a question, but I'm not responding, just remember most of you are on mute. And you have to unmute yourself to ask a question. And slowly come up, get your feet apart. You're gonna put one hand, either palm in or palm out, doesn't matter, but you're just gonna gently press into one leg as you gently turn. The wider apart your feet are, the more of a stretch you'll feel in those adductors. And switch sides. We're a quiet group today, guys.
Pay attention what we're doing.
Oh, you're focusing. I once said that to one of my groups. I said, "You guys are so quiet today." And they go, "Yeah, that's how you should know you're working us hard."
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's
You
right.
whooped us.
But we don't have the breath to talk and work. Come on.
It was a good whooping though.
Breath there. Let's just grab underneath your chair and gently pull, really gently pull up and just tilt your head away. Now be extra cautious if you've got osteoporosis in your spine. Then what you might want to do is just gently press against your hand rather than get the range, because you are at higher risk in those excessive movements. So just be gentle, feel in control of your body. Take a deep breath. Switch sides. Good. All right, rest there. You can either drop a leg back behind you or just turn sideways in your seat. Great job, everybody. And switch sides. We're getting to the end of the clock for question time, teams. If you've got any lingering questions, now's the time.
What happens at the end of April?
At the end of April,
This,
what's the end of
your,
April?
These classes only go to the end of April.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. It most likely depends on BC Lungs funding,
Yeah,
how many more sessions they can run and how long of a break they need in between just to stretch out the benefit.
all right.
But I don't have that information, but I'm sure we'll find out soon as it's getting close. Oh my goodness, it's almost April.
Yeah. Saturday, it's April.
Oh boy, oh boy. Let's finish our exercises today with just a couple of those deep breaths. So I'm gonna count out for 4, inhale, 5-second exhale. Just do what you can. And I'm gonna keep my elbows tucked in and pull apart my hands if you would like to also do that. So we're breathing in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shake out your arms. Give yourself a pat on the back. Great job today, everybody.
Good class, thank you.
Thank you.